D. Yep. Oh, I got one. I have one. Yep. Here's Dr. D talking about this. Got to increase speed, decrease risk, reducing test. Last year, Greg said we are going to make it easy to fail. His goal was to make it easy to fail, because if you fail faster and cheaper, then you're going to run experiments. Here's what Dr. Deming said. First speech in Japan, 1950. He said at that speech, he said, the consumer is more important than raw material. It is usually easier to replace a supplier of raw material with another than it is to find a new consumer. And a non-consumer, one who has not yet tried your product, is still more important to you because he represents a possible additional user of your product. For this reason, I shall speak to you of consumer research because I believe in the importance of consumer research. The main use of it is to feed consumer reactions back into the design of the product so that management can anticipate changing demands and requirements. Consumer research acts as a governor or servo mechanism which, by probing into the future market, regulates both the design of the product and the amount of production. This was an integral part of the system. And I'm not going to ask for a show of hands of people at companies to ask how much you use quantitative research to do it, because I already know the answers. You're a bunch of gamblers. Most companies in the US are actually, they lie to me and they say to me they're conservative companies. We're a conservative company, they say to me, and they're all fraudulent liars. Because I say, how much testing do you do? We don't do consumer testing or industrial testing. We don't do that. We don't do that. Oh, so you just, how do you make it? We just pick them. How's it working for you? Oh, shitty, we have a 95% failure rate. Got an idea. Stop using your damn judgment. It ain't worth squat. We know this. It is reliable and reproducible that management's judgment is no good when it comes to meaningful, unique ideas. Because when we leave the world of the known, we don't know what to do. Studies, you've heard me say it, studies of people, of management teams researching, when they're talking about ideas that are close in, they talk about a whole lot. Ideas that are out there, they don't talk about. What do? They make them act like they're ideas that are close in. We take anything original and make it into the same old crap. And then we wonder why it's not working. Because you don't understand as leaders that you don't know, you need help, and you fail a lot. You think you're omnipotent, and you're wrong. No data. You are not allowed to say you're a conservative organization. You have to now say, we are a gambling organization. We gamble on what people want. We gamble. That's what you are. You're gamblers. And I got to tell you, I am on, well, as you can probably tell, I'm on a rant. This is really starting to annoy me. It's really starting to annoy me when I ask people going into create session, did you do any data on problem statements? No. Why? Well, it's hard for us. Hard? You know what's really hard? Doing all that time and failing. That's hard. That's a giant waste of time. What are you smiling at? You did the same thing. You did. And you and I went to the poll together, so I can poke at you. Same deal, wasn't it? Didn't do the quantitative, because we know it, because we know everything about that world, and we all do it. We all do it. But I got to tell you, we are cranking towards more and faster data. Can you give me an hallelujah, brother? The fact of the matter is, here's the problem. The damn system is horrific at most organizations. How long does it take you to do it? 70% of people, it takes over a month for them to do it. This is not fast, folks. So you got to make the project go faster. You don't have any data. It's going to take you frickin' forever. I had one team told me they put in a request. They came here to Innovation College in December, and it was March, and the market research department still didn't have the data for them. I said, what'd you do? Oh, shit, 2 months ago we had to just go on and pick one. Got to fix the system. So we gamble. Or we take those ideas and make them now not worth doing, and eventually the workers say, to hell with you. Enjoy yourself. Do the math on cycle time. Now, if we turn around and we make this faster, which one of those two companies is going to be looking and trying a meaningful, unique idea? Which one's going to play it safe? It's that simple. Math is the gas pedal. That includes math with regards to your forecasting. It includes math with regards to your testing of the idea. No math, no project, end of story. You're not good enough. None of us are. That means data all the way through the process. That means data all the way through the process. We go in to develop, as she says, we do trade-off prototypes. And what do? We pick the one the engineer thinks is cool. I'm not interested in cool, unless you're going to buy a lot. That means quantitative testing of each one of these, looks like, works like, showing prototypes. You know the technology, we can do all of that kind of stuff now. But all the way through data. No data, you don't move to the next phase. That's my rule. No data, you don't move to the next phase. And we can do this. Got to make it easy to have courage. And that's our goal. A lot of things in this movement, a lot of things, I gave up control over this movement a long time ago as things went on. And people make decisions, and I suggest things, and the will of the people wins. I did take one time, though, which is what I decided as we put this thing together, that I would name this after my dad, who passed away last year. And in the paper he wrote that I just found in February, when he writes about Deming, before Deming became Deming, the speech that he gave, it's just ripe with data. No data, no project. Got to have data. Got to have data. We're talking about doing it really fast. Really fast. Greg and the team, they just worked on taking it. We vaporized everything, but we can count the number of times you use the tools, and soon you're going to be seeing me getting you little love notes. Yeah, I'm saying, if it's your place, you ain't firing these up, you're going to get a little, hello, Sheldon. I'm serious. You got to do this, folks. And I know you know everything. I know you know everything. But we got to do it. How's it work? So what you do is you get the thing set up, and this basically, at the backbone of this is you're going to have some networks of people you need to get to. They can be internal networks, they can be external networks. External networks could be customers, consumers, it could be new students, it could be new students that you're going to, it could be access ways to go get to them through Facebooks, they can be lists that you can buy. Greg's got connections to a whole bunch of people that have email lists that you can buy, and they're not that expensive. You can buy you can buy 10,000 completed surveys for not a lot of money that you can then use at 50 at a time or 75 at a time. All of this stuff is doable, and it's not really expensive. The cost has been vaporized, it's commoditized. You just have to want to do it. You can take internal networks, you can take your frontline salespeople, your frontline people, the distributors, you can take your suppliers, you can bring them as part of these networks. And you're going to be going after specific wisdom on standardized levels to be able to do it with idea doubling, idea coach, and idea scan. You're going to be able to go external and get information on that and to be able to run this. Everything goes direct from projects. We put it because we're so Greg laid this thing not in a separate place, but right beside your project as you're doing it. It's right there in front of you, so you have to look at it every time. So from now on, every time you open up a project, you see that, you should feel bad. I'm just going to tell you. You should feel bad if you see that. Every time you see that, I want you to say, geez, I guess we probably should have done something. Yes, I should have done something. Okay, I'm going to haunt you. I'm just going to haunt you. That's what I'm going to do. Insight mining. Hour and a half, an hour, you can send them out. We would run them very quickly. We would set them out at night sometimes if people, depending upon the category of people, and we would get the responses back. You can take problems. You got all your hypotheses, you got all your theories. Let's go from theories to fact. So we could say how big of a problem it is, how frequent of a problem it is. We can take different categorizations of our people. Are they trendsetters? Are they thought leaders? What kind of people are they? Gary, you can set this up at your stores with an iPad. You can have people come in. You can show pictures of new types of pastries and have people scoring them and instantly get the feedback to it. We can do that now. We can do that now. We can get this information and we can see which ones relate. You can get idea doubling. You don't have to actually know how to, I'm sorry, don't let her know this. You don't have to know how to write. You don't have to know how to write. You just have to be willing to say, I don't know anything. And send it out to other people and get advice. And you just have to be able to pick them when they come by that are good. I mean, there's no excuses for not having brilliantly written things. There are no excuses anymore. You can get feedback from your team. You can be sitting with your team and getting feedback to see where it is, because everybody's passive-aggressive and they won't tell you the truth about anything. And so you can see where everybody's standing on this thing and see where they are and the strengths and weaknesses, and use that. You now have access for the first time to Monte Carlo simulations, risk-adjusted forecasts. Literally, you can take your thing, you don't know your numbers, you can roll a dice 10,000 times, reintroduce your thing, and see your real probability of risk-adjusted. This is like the most advanced. Why are accounting firms, why are CFOs saying, this is music to my ears? Because we are using the most advanced risk management systems in the world if you click on the damn button. It's there. I can take you to water, but I can't make you drink it. But it's there. You can customize now your marketing inputs. You can take your own marketing inputs as to what makes sense for your industrial markets or your different markets and the different things, and you can create your own. You know how to do that? We did it. If you need help, call us. Greg and I, there's nothing much more fun than figuring this out, this math. I mean, this is like, Craig, is it getting more fun than this?
There's some things more fun.
You want to go for financing? We've got the most advanced, most validated system of any system in the entire world that you can use to go do it. You can do concept and use tests, taking them out and using that and evaluating. So when your dad says no, that's too expensive, we can show him data where we tested it with the price and saw the results of what happened. And we can start to do this, and we can start to get into cycles where you can have stuff going out every single week. And in its best embodiment, the idea is a test goes out every single week. And if you're not ready, we ship without you. And now we try crazy things, amazing things. There's zero cost to run any of the first four. Zero cost to do any of the first four. You can just do them. These cost $1,000. But you can, as you get more developed in doing this stuff, we will actually set you up and certify you so that you can do them in-house at no cost. And get your raters to do this. These will cost, if you're doing rapid test and fielding, depending upon the cost of what you're doing. If you're doing it frontline with just people coming in who just want to help, it'll cost you nothing. Or you give them a donut or something. Or you can turn around and spend about $1,000 to go do it. At your frontline stores, this is like no big deal. Then go do this. And you can learn what you don't even know. This is a graph I showed earlier today, though, with regards to word of mouth and meaningful uniqueness. Here's the deal, folks. Don't talk to me about a project that failed if you can't tell me what the score was. I'm not interested. You're non-compliant with the process. And one of the things, there's a lot of flexibility in this. What isn't a flexibility is research. You've got to have data. You've got to have data. Quantitative data. What happens is there's a curve that goes up. Now, we don't know for sure yet about this. We don't know. This is an active research area, and we're going to be looking at this to see how we can take this up. But I'm going to tell you the scores are going to go up, not down. Right? In your market, to get people to notice even what you've got for one of those mobile homes, you're going to have to do even more. You blew away and brought the company back with a dramatic change. Now we're going to need more. Because there's going to be more, not less, of this stuff that's going to happen here. That's what's coming. We got validation of the yin-yang of one thing versus another. 7 times smarter than humans. Idea scan is you take raters that you can answer. They have computer reading. The computer that Greg scored actually provides a balance to the scores and is actually really pretty good at picking these things off. They're easy to set up. We now have video capture that we're using. I wish John Muldoon's been doing a whole pile of it. And it's unbelievable. When you go out and do product and use tests or concept tests, and then you just take your phone up or your tablet after they've asked questions, you say, so what do you think about it? And then you can video cross-tab them and hit a button, and you can look at all the people who liked it and all the people that didn't, and you can just play this. It is so unbelievable. Better than anything else we've ever seen. Because I can cross-tab these things. You can do it at a trade show with people coming by. Or at a weekend home show when people are looking at things, at RV shows where they're looking at stuff, we'd say, hey, look at this, and we can go see it. Now we can spark new thoughts and new ideas. The way we get it going is to start up and learn. Project team is the primary internal panel. Just get using it and get this into the rhythms. Get it into your checklist that it has to have. It's already in there. Get for volunteers for internal panels who want to be part of it. Maybe they're big on writing or forecasting or a certain element of it, and they want to be a part of that. We create communities. Maggie's going to tell you after the break, she's going to tell you ways to set those collaboration groups up that can do that. Set up with customers, ways to get access to customers. Work with trade shows and trade directories and different things where you can get access to lists and doing this. We can do this. We can set these up with all kinds of groups are possible to be able to make this happen. We can do this. We can do this. We have the ability. All of the hard stuff we've taken care of. Greg has automated all the hard stuff. You can send them out to external lists. You can do them that way, so then you start to customize. Educate and enroll panels and blogs across the group so you get going. Get some reference standards. What matters for you? So you go and turn around, you take this at tests, you take it at trade shows, and you go through this, and you say, okay, for our industry, here's the norms and the variants that we need. You can take and put them into the control chart and say, are we upside the control chart or not on this idea versus others? We have the ability to do this. Go do it. We can customize with Delphi and stuff like this that we can use to break this up. Then you can turn around and start to certify and bring in your own panel to be able to do this stuff at a higher level. And start to do forensic markets on your go-to-market system, which I can tell you already, I already know what it looks like because we've done this now with some companies, and it is beyond out of control. It's crazed. As you'll hear, we can take these things beyond. We can bring in outside people. So now your session can be 2 and 3 times the size of it is as you bring in people from other parts of the world. The test we did, 407 times we got quantitative results or specific feedback met for 4 days. It enabled ideas and resulted in the 3 highest scoring ideas in the company's history. By failing more times, you get to bigger ideas. That's the deal. It's that simple. How many times have you failed? If you've failed 3 times, you're not going to have very good ideas. I've written and quantitatively tested more concepts than everybody in this room added together, and I can't pick them when they're really unique. That's why I set records for really good and really stupid ideas. And I'm damn proud of both of them. Have you had a really big bomb in a concept test? If you've not, you're playing it safe. You're not doing it right. If you haven't had big bombs on concept tests or idea tests, you're not pushing the envelope. It's that simple. Safe is for losers. That's not why we're here. We need to lead these people. You can make your stage gate meetings more valuable. You don't get into the meeting if you don't do idea scan. That way, poor project leader at least knows what the scene looks like. If you don't fill it out, you don't get a vote in the meeting. Simple idea. Simple idea. That's your ticket to get into the meeting. Now we have considered, again, standardized numbers of matters instead of people coming to the meeting because they had a bad day and say, I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't give a damn if you don't like it. I need to know. That doesn't enable me. That doesn't help me. Okay, big opportunity for these things. Denny, you were talking about yesterday. Big opportunity. Take all of this stuff and use it internally. When you're looking to change the damn cafeteria, when you're looking to change a company system, when you're looking for new ways of doing things, let's use these same exact tools inside the organization to get perspective and ideas on it. When you come to the conclusion, you're not giving up the fact that you don't get to make the decision, you're getting liberated to look at even cooler ideas. Because you've got a safety net. You've got a safety net to be able to take stuff to a bigger level, to take it further. the math and the doubling, and let's just talk real quickly about this so that you understand where we're going with this, because some people understand it, we're at different levels. So actually, as it turns out, the name Delphi is actually trademarked. We didn't know this. We ran into this blip. There's somebody that actually bought the trademark, and he sues people if you say you're selling Delphi. I'm not sure that he could hold this trademark if you fought him, but the process to get the trademark delisted is a long and painful one, as David explained to me. And it's ridiculous. So we can't call it Delphi, so we're going to call it Delphi. A digital Delphi system is a descriptive term because that's what we have to do. What it is it's a validated system for getting more intelligent results. It was built by the Rand Corporation. This is the stuff of the Cold War, where they started to look at scenarios of what would happen when you did this. What it does is studies have shown that groups that debate to the right answer, this is much smarter, 5-to-1, and statistical samples from experts, 12-2, is what you find when you go through Armstrong's books on doing this. Now, what you can do this is to predict the future. In what year do you predict the majority of our customers will convert to blank technology? You can use this to say, what are the odds that the majority of our customers will convert to this by? You give them a numeric question that you're asking for them, and then they have to respond with a number and a rationale. And they must have, as Maggie P. said this morning, must have domain knowledge. Asking people something for which they know nothing is of no value. They have to have some domain knowledge, but ideally different domain knowledge, not the same. 5-to-20 is the ideal number. You can use this for estimating numbers that are the unknown. Deming said, what's most important in the world is unknown and unmeasurable. With tools like Monte Carlo simulation and Delphi, the unknown and the unmeasurable becomes more known. That's what happens. We can evaluate projects and doing planning. How long might it take us to do this? What's it going to take us to develop? And we're going to make this into a simple click that you just enter the people, you put your background, your information, you send it out. They come back. It averages, puts them together. You get it back. Unknown, no known names, because you can't have identification of names. You see the things. You can say hold or change. You do 3 quick rounds. Your standard deviation goes down. And oh, why? Guess what? You can even take that number and that standard deviation, and you can enter it into the Monte Carlo simulation, an idea scan, and run your volumes right off that. This, my friends, is the state of the art in mathematics for risk management. That's what we're talking about. The state of the art. We've wanted to do this for some time. Greg and I have talked about it. He's got a math doubling that starts to take you that way. It was his secret way of putting it in to try to get it in. But this is going to take us with Monte Carlo, and David's going to show you, we've now got patent assets where you can do it without even using an idea scan. Where we are going is to even more math. The thing that is my great anxiety, however, is that where we are going, if we don't get people to click the button to do Idea Coach, they ain't never going to use some of these other things we're talking about. Now, I know people don't get it, but you have to help them with this. Yes?
I missed something in this Delphi. I think I understand the outcome. I'm not sure of exactly the inputs.
So the inputs is you might put your yellow card. You might say, I'm trying to understand some element of it. Or you might be looking there and saying, a technology, we got 2 technologies, which technology should be the right way to go? When's it going to come together? You might be turning around and saying a trend, is this trend real or not? What percentage of our customers do you think would stock this item if we put this out? So basically think about whatever question that would be an unknown question, you can get it reframed into a question with a number that they can answer with a quantitative number that you can then start to do rounds on. Okay? Basically, whatever you think you don't know, you can use this to figure out a way to reduce the variation and get to an answer. That's right. Yeah. And so the person comes back, they see the mean, they see the standard deviation, they see the low and the high range, and they see each person's number and the rationale. You look at it and you say, okay, based on looking at this, I think now I should change my number. Or I think my number's right, and I'm going to stay here. Okay? These are usually done in an in-person system where people pass the papers back and forth and somebody does it, which can be done. We're going to make it so that you can do it very fast and very quick, because we know that the faster you fail, the sooner you will get successful, to quote Mr. Gregg. The fast do you fail? The benefit of this is you have no odds of success. You get fail, you know it, you get smarter, and then you win. And folks, what we're talking about is a way of living. It is about, when we say this mantra of, I don't know, I need help, I fail a lot, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. So let me go inside here. And this is a demo account that we set up for Pesanti Pizza, a made-up company that we do. Here's the pipeline Lydia was talking about, our sessions. I go, and all my blue cards are here, that I can view my blue cards. I can flip the card over. I've got all my versions of them. So now I have a strategically designed pipeline. I've got my yellow card concept. I've got my math game plan, my project learning. Here's my milestones that I set, my checklist. I can change it to another one. Here's the Acme Power Company best practice list that she made in the demo thing. I've got what, why, and how. And when I activate something, I can see what it is, why to do it, and how. I can add my tasks, and I can run my project. But the cool part is over here on the side. On the side, I've got my cycles that ran through. I can start my immediate blog, a collaboration blog, a private blog, my team list. Oh, there's that thing. Why do I? Oh, that's to haunt me. That's right. That's right. When I see that, it makes me think, hey, I've worked for 8 weeks. We haven't run a single quantitative test. We don't know squat. We haven't gotten any smarter. We're a gambling company. Hey, that's the ticket. Greg, what if we do this? If you go 8 weeks and you don't activate any tool, we say gambler. I probably can't do that, huh? So I got my card and I don't know how to do it because I don't know how to write. So what I do is I hit Idea Coach. Voila! The computer just read my idea. It just read my idea. Oh, let's see, what did it say? Make sure you promise to solve the problem. Problem and promise should be opposite of each other. If you problem you're frustrated, then promise you won't be frustrated. Okay, let's see what I write. Let's see. Problem. Pizza is cold when served. Promise, great taste with less calories. Difficult. Okay, so that's no good. I can take this, I can send it to any other test I want to send it to. Say I don't know how to write. I can go into idea doubling. I can take my concept for the pizza, and I can see I asked for help with headlines. It says, really great pizza for the people of today. That's pretty not good. Oh, well, what's this? The only pizza that stays hot and keeps you looking hot because it's under 400 calories. Huh. That was written by a statistician. Huh. Copy, paste. I'm a genius! Because, see, I don't know, I need help, and I fail a lot. And I was willing to fail and get help. Miracle. Okay, so what else can I do? I can turn around and I can run my tests. Say I want to do insight mining. I want to get information on that. I can take my problems. I can see all my problems. The statistics are already done for me. I can see who feels how differently about these because I can set up, when I did my setup on this thing, see, I was able to add any of these kinds of things. Early adopter, self-esteem, trendsetter, different things. I didn't even have to come up with this stuff. It's already got the kinds of things that I want to know to understand what this customer's like or what this person's like and how they're thinking. I can do all of that. In insight mining, I can go out and capture. Video crosstabs. I can sort them. I can play them. And I gotta tell you, we just did 6 straight weeks of doing these. And I mean, of everything I have ever done to get diagnostics underneath it, nothing beats this for diagnostics that I've ever seen. It's just absolutely unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. I can take the research, I can do idea scan, find out where everybody's head's at associated with my idea. So now I know where the whole team is. I can see my scores, I can see the others. Oh damn, look I thought it was a 48. Oh man, my team isn't even behind me. I could use that information. Okay, yes, it takes you 15 minutes to fill it out. How much time are you going to waste on the project? Because of do loops that you're going to get into because you didn't do it. I can turn around and run my stuff as a sales forecast. I put in all the things. We do the Monte Carlo, and this costs nothing. This costs nothing to do this. I can see my forecast assumptions and run, and I can see the Monte Carlo of what I'm going to do. I can go in and customize my marketing inputs for this. Rapid test. I can turn around and take these things and look at these as I can have pictures, Gary, there you go, pictures of my pies and descriptions with them. I can have concept boards, I can have art, I can have whatever element that I want. I can have drawings of my new RV, I can have anything you want, I can put those together. I can run these tests. So that's the system. That's the system for doing it, and just closing up to a thing here, portal settings. So we've been talking about, have you noticed that we've got a few things that we intend to totally brainwash you on? I don't know that you picked that up yet. Maybe you haven't. With some things that we know really, really matter. Really, really matter. I mean, here's my checklist. And I can go in, I can clone it, I can edit it. It's that easy. It's that easy. Okay, folks. It's a way of living. This is a different mindset. And I know that many of the people in the room, you got in because you loved ideas in the front end. I know that. If you want to ship, you're going to have math. And the more you do math, the more it liberates you to do even wackier, crazy ideas. That's why I do math. I don't do math to control me. I do math to enable me to do wilder ideas. That's what math does for me. It allows me to do ideas that are outside of the envelope and to find the really cool thing. That's what math does for me when I do it. It is not an inspection to see if I'm smart or stupid. That's not what it is. It is a means to enable me to be able to do really cool things that I can be really proud of. That's what it's about. That's what it's all about. Now, I know this is a mindset shift. And I know the organizations don't support it. And I know when you go out to outside and you do tests, it's going to cost some money. But if you want to do the ROI on this one, as we were talking, this ROI is real easy. Because what's the cost of a failure? It doesn't happen. Do more math, do more checklists, and you will liberate the people to do really cool stuff. That's what it's about. The only reason we built this was to enable innovation by everyone, everywhere, every day. Now, imagine what happens, as we're seeing in some organizations, when frontline people can do this themselves. A work team can turn around and come up with ideas, and they can say, well, let's just run a quick survey with everybody right here. Where we can enable those people, and supply chains can do this like that. Now we start to knit this thing together, and now we come together to being able to do really cool stuff and really crazy stuff. Amnesty. Amnesty. I understand the pressures of doing stuff. I fully understand that I am an unreasonable, ranting, old fart. I got that. I got that. But this thing's been out for 6 months. We've been having it. 9 months. And we've been doing it, and we've got pockets where people have taken off, and we've got pockets where people are doing none. And while if I can just get 10% more liberated by it, but we tend to think that ideas and numbers fight each other. They don't. They liberate us. How long do you spend debating ideas? Instead of debating, just run a damn frickin' test, even with your salespeople, for Christ's sakes. Even then, stop debating. Let's get some facts in it. Let's make it a fact-based decision and empower people that they can make fact-based decisions. Okay. The church service is over. Did I do okay, Greg?
Yeah, it's great preaching.
Okay, let's take a quick break.